How's it going, everyone? So this is the first time I'm doing face cam in a long time, in a while. It's been a while, but as you can see, we're ready to get into the game. Why? Because there's a lot of new stuff coming in, mainly just with the event, of course. It's a big weekend. This weekend it is crazy. So what is going on? In case you guys live under a rock, the Power Up Stone event, or chocolate event. These are called Power Stones, or like. They come up with new names for this all the time. There was a fortune cookie one version of this. There was a soccer ball one version of this. I've only gotten 5 chocolates so far. So how are you going to be getting chocolates this event? That's a $1 million question. A big question that everyone keeps asking. So let's go through and discuss some ways to do it. In case you guys don't know, this weekend is huge. So, like I'm saying, okay, Power Up Chocolate event, save them. Save the chocolates. I've already used a couple, but I probably shouldn't. Save them. And I'll tell you why in a bit, alright? Now you've also got this Happy Lunar New Year or Valentine's Day type thing with all these events. Like, you got the Power Chocolate event, the Rainbow Mon, Angel Mon, Devil Mon. The Devil Mon is the main one. The Devil Mon is huge. I'm not a big fan of the Rainbow Mon, or the Angel Mon one, but it's like, okay? But double EXP and Mana Stones. So in case you guys don't know, this is PST. That is the Pacific Standard Time Zone over in California, because that is where the global headquarters is. The global server HQ for the Summoners War is located in California, so they go off of PST. So in case you guys don't know, just use some type of time zone converter. Figure out the times, because this is huge. It is from 8 to 9, either AM and PM for 2 times EXP, and then 12 to 1 AM and PM for 2 times Mana Stones. The EXP one is awesome. It is huge. Use that. Instead of popping double EXP boosters, use that. It is awesome. Also, 2 times Mana Stones is, we'll discuss on what you should farm for those as well. You get 2 wishes a day from the 8th to the 15th of February, starting at 12 a.m., of course, Pacific Standard Time Zone. And then you get free energy gifts when you log in during these times. As long as you're logged in during those times, you'll be fine. So from 8 to 9, both AM and PM, and then from 12 to 1 for PM. So yeah, this is actually a really great event. And of course the Power Stone is quite amazing. This event is, I always look forward to these events, because runes is basically the game. Making sure you have the right runes is pretty huge. So I think the Power Up Stone event is one of the best events, other than the Devilmon type stuff that they do. The Devilmon stuff where they give us Devilmons, that is also another really amazing event. Free rune removal is coming up. It is on Saturday, but depending on when I upload this, it should be Friday night by the time this gets uploaded, so you guys should still have time. Basically, how should you go about rune removal? Now, my Tyrone is horrible runes, okay? Like, bad runes. It's nothing, like, special, okay? But you should go through all your monsters, unrune everything that is not perfectly runed. And there is this amazing new app type thing. Not an app, but it is a website called Rune Optimizer. And I believe it is on computer. I might be wrong with that. I think it's on computer. And basically you go through and you put in, it'll take in all of the runes that you currently have on all your monsters and outside your monsters. I don't know if you have to input those. I've never used it, but I'm going to use it for this rune removal. And it will basically, you prioritize certain stats. So like, say I wanted to rune Praha a different way. I already have the best runes I have on her. I've already checked manually. But let's say I wanted to, well, we'll say Orion, okay? Let's say I just started runing him. That's why it's still kind of like right? These are not upgraded all the way and they're kind of shit. But I will optimize those this weekend. Now, think about it this way. I want to prioritize speed, HP, and accuracy. You enter those things into the rune optimizer, and it will give you the best rune sets. So say I want a violent set and a focus set, or a will set. I want violent and will, okay? Well, now it's going to throw me back the best possible combination of all of the runes that I currently have for Orion to be on violent will. Now, the only problem I see with this is, well, I mean, maybe I'd rather have 2 monsters be kind of like here and here, rather than have this one have all of the amazing runes and then this one has less mediocre runes, because now you got, well, shit, you can't use this monster anymore, and this one's good, but you can't use this one anymore, whereas this one you can still use both. That's the only problem I see with it. You could also go in and yourself and be like, I have to have this rune on the other monster. That works too. But Rune Optimizer, fantastic thing. I'll look for the link and I'll put it in the description below. Definitely check that out, guys. In case you're wondering, where do you get power-up stones? Now, okay, one thing, okay? For the runes, for the rune removal, I could go through like, oh, how do you best use rune removal? The best thing to do on rune removal is just unrune any monster you're unsure of. Just unrune it. It's 0 mana stones. You can play, match and all this stuff and see how it goes. It's super easy, and it's a full 24 hours. All you need is 1 hour. You don't even need 24 hours. Just put all your runes around, test it around. I always try to save 1,000,000 mana beforehand, so today I'm going to be farming up as much mana stones as I can, and then that way, if I do put on a rune that's not upgraded, I can fully max that, or upgrade it at least to like plus 12, and that way it's at least up there so that I can use it, because if it's not at plus 12, if a rune set's not at plus 12, I don't use the monster. It needs to all be at plus 12 for me. But that's besides the point, guys. The best way to utilize free rune removal is unrune anything you're unsure of. That's the way it goes, because it's free. It is free. There's nothing to lose, but maybe a few arena battles if your monsters are unruned, which getting attacked while you unrune your monsters is pretty unlikely, unless you leave everything unruned for the entire day, but yeah. So how do you get chocolate stones, or the chocolate candy thingies? And that's a pretty reoccurring question, and everyone seems to think that these chocolate drops are quite low. They think the chances are very low, and they're really not. The fact is, everyone expects these things to drop super easily. They think these things, God, I don't know why, whenever I record, I always get this message that pops up. Look through my last 7 videos, and it's popped up in almost every single one of these, including my 1-minute Giants B10 run. It's ridiculous. Everyone expects these chocolate drops in every single event to be super easy, and they always, every time it comes back around, the same event, oh my gosh, it's such a low drop rate, and then it gets to the end of the event, and they're like, wow, that was so easy. I have over 300 drops total counted up. So it's just kind of one of those things that you guys need to realize. One, you can't rush events. I don't care who it is. I don't care how famous they are or how high level they are or whatever. Don't rush events. It's never worth it. And seriously, all you're going to do is set back your own progress when you try to rush events, because you're doing things to get out of your way to finish the event rather than focusing on stuff like farming dungeons or farming double EXP. So if you guys really want to get these chocolate power-up stuff finished as possible, as fast as possible, the fastest way to do that is through scenario mode. And why is that? I don't believe that the drop rate is higher in scenario necessarily. I don't think that, oh, Giants has a higher drop rate, that kind of thing. It all comes down to how much energy you really put into it. And if you're going to be doing scenario, I can clear scenario. I farm Mount Runar with my Amir, right? So I throw in this kind of thing, and I just 6-starred Rena recently. Don't follow my footsteps unless you're up in Guardian for Rena. Okay, different story. We'll go over that later. But let's say you want to farm WXP. Pop a WXP booster first off. Okay, farming scenario without WXP booster is a total waste of time. Seriously, it's not worth it, guys. You're better off trying to farm runes. So pop a WXP booster. It's 100 crystals. It's not a big deal. If you want to do the 200 crystal one, that one works as well. But you're better off popping a WXP booster. You pop that, and you farm scenario. You keep farming it, and you keep farming it, and you keep farming it. That's seriously how you farm scenario. Level up your monsters. Don't just farm it blankly, where you progress in nothing. You need to progress. You need to actually progress in the game while you do the event. So you farm scenario, hell mode, that's the important one. And you should farm, this should be your goal, farming Fame on Hell or further. The reason is the drops are 3-star monsters and 2-star monsters exclusively. You're not getting any of those 1-star drops, and that is a big deal because it helps you level up fodder a lot faster for your 6-star monsters, and that's the whole point of farming scenario. It's for 6-starring monsters. So when you do stuff like Thamon, or Aiden, Forest, or even if you can get your reps highly skilled enough to do, Farron, Runar, or even Chiruka Remains, where the EXP is significantly higher, doing stuff like that on double EXP with one monster that can farm it for you, and then 3 fodder monsters that are getting EXP is a lot more, I should say, progressive. So I discussed that and how to farm or how to 6-star quickly. It's nothing new, guys. This has been in the game for over a year since I've been playing since 2014. So it's seriously nothing new. Trust me. It's something that myself and a lot of other higher level players than myself have discussed and agreed upon, that if you're ever going to farm scenario mode, pop a double EXP booster. We've done the math on it, and it's much more worth it. You're not going to be getting as far into the game if you don't use the double EXP booster in scenario. Now let's say you don't want to run scenario. Let's say you don't want to pop a double EXP booster, you don't have the crystals for it or the refills. Let's say you only have a certain amount of energy and you don't want to use a double EXP booster. Well, what are you going to do? Well, you're not going to farm scenario. It doesn't make sense. So what can you do for the stuff? I would say farming giants or dragons or necropolis. Those work, right? Either any of these 3 dungeons are the best things you can do. Now they are expensive. Make sure you farm B10. Always B10. Never go lower. B10, B10, B10. If it's some type of, now going off to another type of event where it's like you spend a certain amount of energy. No, or sorry, I should say you kill a certain amount of monsters or something like that. No, you should never do anything lower than B10 unless you cannot do B10. So if you can do Necropolis B10, Giants B10, or Dragons B10, only do B10. That's the only thing you should ever do. Okay? The rune drops are significantly higher in B10, and you'll notice a huge difference. Like, you guys, some of you look at my runes and you're like, wow, how do you get such amazing runes? Like, you get such incredible rune stats. Like, yeah, these are so amazing. It's actually, this is pretty average, honestly, up in Guardian, and you guys think, yeah, well, I'm not a Guardian player. Well, this is the step on how to become a Guardian player, getting these types of runes. These are rune drops in B10. You're not going to get this farming B1. And clearing some event, let's say clearing some events like the stone one, right? If you're going to be doing the stone event where you want the stones to drop and you're farming, let's say you're farming scenario over and over and over and you get all of these stone drops, sure, okay, you get, 250 crystals, a 3-star max level Rainbow Mon, 1 mystical scroll, 50,000 mana stones, and 50 energy. Great. Okay, you got basically the cream of the crop there is the 250 crystals. Maybe a few people will get natural 5-star from the mystical scroll, that's about it. Majority, like 99.9% of the players, will not get anything from that mystical scroll. So, what's the point? What is the point of this event? It is a rune level up event. Specifically, rune event. Alright? If you do not farm for runes, and if you do not have the runes for the upgrades, the chocolate upgrades, what are you going to be doing with the upgrades? You're going to be wasting them. You have to spend them before they take it out of the game, take that little piece of code out of the game, because they'll literally reset it down to 0 and take the event out after a certain amount of days after the event ends. So it is extremely important to make use of your chocolates while you have them available. And the best way to do that is to make sure you have the runes for it. And if you don't have the runes for it, you won't be doing anything, okay? That's the main point. So I would definitely say the best way to do this, if you plan on leveling up fodder, you're going to get more drops in scenario. You're going to spend more energy, but you're going to get more drops because it's faster. You're going to be doing 1-minute runs, less than 1-minute runs, because I do about 1-minute runs on Mount Runar. You're going to be doing that type of stuff, and it's just going to go a lot faster. You're going to spend your energy a ton more fast because it's just 1-minute runs, just boom, 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 boom. Now, of course, I'm talking specifically for you guys because I do the same amount of time 1-minute runs on Giants B10, My bad, someone was at the door. So, the point being, guys, the main thing I want to basically get across here in this video is if you're trying to get massive amounts of summoning, or the upgrade stones, the way you're going to do that is to farm consistently. Stick to one thing, and that's basically Kairos dungeons, okay? So, stick to Kairos dungeons or stick to scenario. If you're going to be doing Rift, it's not going to drop in Rift. I don't believe it's going to drop in Rift. There goes my battery. It's not going to drop in Rift, really. I don't think at all, actually. It's not going to drop in Secret Dungeons. I don't think it drops in the Magic Halls or any of those stuns. Doesn't matter anyways, because you shouldn't be farming those during this type of event. You should be farming runes. So, basically, runes, okay, the Kairos Dungeons, or, right, scenario, okay? Those main two. And that's the way I would do it. I always finish these events, so you guys can trust me on this one. You got to make sure that you keep farming it over and over and over. And you don't need an insane amount of refills to do it. You guys should be just using your crystals on refills anyways. I would not spend money or the crystals on premium packs during this type of event. It's not worth it. Just save your crystals, finish up this event, and if you want to, do the premium packs afterwards. But you should be focusing on getting those power-up stones, because it's double the chance to upgrade your runes. This is huge, guys. Trust me. This is one of the better events that they give us, and it is not as often. The last time they did this, I believe, was, I think, in Halloween. I think the last time they did this was in Halloween. They don't do it every month. I think they do it every few months. So this is something you guys should take advantage of. Make sure that you finish it. Make sure you get your little prizes, but don't rush it. It is never worth it to rush it. So, hopefully this gives you guys an idea of what you should do and, you know, like what's the best way to approach this type of, this event. And, you know, if anything, you guys should come out with, don't rush it, farm scenario on EXP, and keep farming runes. And eventually they will drop. I've gotten 5 so far. 3 of those were from Kairos, and I farmed it, not even a refill, just 80 energy, and 3 dropped, just like that, you know? So, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's nothing really new. It's not like some revolutionary technique or anything like that. I don't want you guys to think that this is like all these secrets that us high level players are keeping from you, you know? It's really not. It's just kind of like one of those common sense things that doesn't come across as common sense because it's not something you technically think about, and there's a lot of people out there that tend to throw around the wrong ideas and the wrong advice, and you got to be careful about that, and you got to always make sure that everything you do in this game is a step towards progression, okay? Never focus on summons, and never prioritize summons, and never prioritize events. Always make sure that those are secondary things that you can complete while you farm, you know, level up your monsters and get your runes and stuff like that. But alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Let me know if this helped you out at all. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, and I will address them there. Let me know what you guys think is your favorite event and why, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. I love getting you guys more interactive in the comment section, so leave your comment down below which event you like the most and why, and I will be sure to read all of them, and maybe I'll include a couple of them in the next video, so I'll give you guys a little bit of motivation to leave a comment below. Alright guys, I will see you all next time.